Welcome back. Now let's have a look at another interesting aspect of a gradient of a line or a straight line. So when we have now seen how we can calculate the gradient of a gradient of a line, the slope at the slopey aspect of a line, right, which is the m, which is equal to the change in y values over change in x values. So we now know the calculation, the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? So the top values are y, and then the bottom, the denominator, they are x values. And then you can know which one is the two values and the second values by where it is drawn from. Is it drawn from the top, drawn from the down, and that? This is it. So we have dealt with them in 2 videos. If you didn't understand anything, you can comment in this video or go and watch that video and then let us know the best way to help you. Actually, I introduced you to how the calculation is done. The example was I ran out of time. So I asked you to pause the video and then do the calculation yourself. Looking at the graph there, drawing the dashes, forming the right angle triangle, you can do that. Now, the next thing is finding the length of a line joining 2 given points. So we're still talking about the coordinates of a straight line. Good. Now here we are saying that, let's say point A is of x1, y1, which is the typical form, and B of x2 and y2, right? Be given 2 points on a straight line as shown here. So we have point A and point B. And what this calculation or the concept is that we are finding the length from here to here. We are looking at the length. What is the value of this line? What is the value of this length? That's what we are looking at. But before we can actually find the value of this line, we have to get 2 points, at least 2 points. And then finding the 2 points, then we can get the value. So realize once again that whatever we are doing is still building blocks. Don't underestimate any of the topics or the concepts, else you wouldn't appreciate this, and that will be very disappointing. I'll feel bad about the whole thing. So take your time. So here we can see that we have A and have B, and then the lines have been drawn, which the steps that we looked at earlier, dashes here to mark up there, and then we have intentionally make this point to be C. We see that x2 minus x1, we get this length, and then here y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1, right? So that is it. So now that we have this, now let's look at the general formula for finding the length of a line. This topic is actually dealt in depth in the next topic called mensuration. And mensuration, we will look at something called hypotenuse, opposite and adjacent of a right angled triangle. But let's have a glimpse here, since the topic is touching on it. Let's still have a glimpse of that. So if you know the general formula, when we go there, it's the same thing that we are going to apply. So here, the general formula is of the form, we see this straight line upwards, this and this. This line symbolize what? Length. The meaning of this line upward, vertical lines, is called what? The length. So it's not just a design or decoration, but it's of essence. So yes, so since we are looking for the length here, we are looking for this length from here to here, right? So it's AB, here this point to this point, so this is the length, so it's AB. Hence you see at the top here in the formula to be AB squared, right, is equal to AC squared plus CB squared. So what it means, once again, let me take you back. We are saying that AB squared is equal to what? AC here to here is AC. So AC squared is equal to what? CB squared. You understand? So AB squared is equal to AC squared plus CB squared. Looking at the length. So that is what it means. It's as simple as ABC. Now let's go on. So in order to find the length or remove that square root here, this is square. So in order to remove the squared here, we introduce a special term or a topic or terminology called square roots. We have looked at this in the previous topics. Once again, building blocks, we have to understand what have been dealt with before you can move on here. So please don't take any topic for granted. So to remove the square here and making it only AB instead of this square, we don't want the square here because we don't even have the value of AB. So how can we square it? So we want to remove that square there. So the moment you remove it, you introduce a square root on the right side of the equation, affecting the whole of these quantities. Hence, square root of x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Do you know why we have the values here, x and y and all that? It's because AC is also of length. AC will also have coordinates or points. CB will also have coordinates and points. So hence, this is the formula. So we therefore drew the calculation. We get here to be AB is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. We come here. So basically what you are looking at is what the change in the x coordinates and then y coordinates. That's basically what it is. So for instance, let's come down. We are saying that find the length of the line joining the points A, this, the 1 and 3, and then B, 4 and 7. So when you come down with the formula, we put the values there. Where you see x2, you put it there, x1, you put it there, y2, put it there, y1, you put it there. So this is it. So coming down, we have 9 plus 16, which is 25. Now square root of 25, if it's what? 5 units, right? This is the same, it's the same. And the reason why I'm not bothering myself doing anything special is because their values, you are just doing substitution. So you should be vigilant on how to do the substitution. A has x and a y, B also has x and y. So it means that when you take one coordinate, the first value is x, so x1, and then this one is what? Y1. x1, y1, x2, y2. That is it. So we put them, you substitute, and then we see this formula. For I2, the same thing. If you move down to this particular one, right, we said what is the distance between the points P, 5, and 6, and then Q, -2, and then 5. In the formula, you put it there. Right. So just do the substitution. You arrive at 170. You can leave it here, and then you are done. So this is basically finding the length of a line joining two given points. So that is it. So we see in the next one. Stay blessed. Please like, subscribe, share. Let's say to push 1K, and let's come live. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.